Hello friends, and welcome to my today's lecture on Virginia Woolf Part 2. In my last lecture, I had spoken about Virginia Woolf as an English writer who, through her non-linear approaches to narrative, exerted a major influence on the genre. She was considered as one of the most important modernist 20th century authors and also a pioneer in the use of the stream of consciousness as a narrative device. I had also mentioned that Woolf wrote pioneering essays on artistic theory, literary history, women's writing, and the politics of power. She was also a fine stylist, and she experimented with several forms of biographical writing, composed painterly short fictions, and sent to her friends and family a lifetime of brilliant letters. I had also mentioned many things about her early life and the influences that she carried. I had mentioned that in her family, while the boys had received college education, the girls were schooled at home in English classics and Victorian literature. And had also mentioned that she had suffered mental breakdown twice. Once in 1897 when her half-sister and a mother figure to her, Stella, died, and the second time when she lost her father. Today I'll be talking about the remaining part of her biography. Now, while Virginia Woolf was recovering from the second mental breakdown that she had suffered on her father's death, Vanessa, her elder sister, she supervised the other children. And they had moved to the more bohemian Bloomsbury section of London, where they could freely pursue studies, paint or write, or rather even entertain. Now, in a nutshell, they led a very free lifestyle. Although Virginia had already started writing professionally in 1900, but now in Bloomsbury, in conjunction with the brothers' intellectual friends, she formed the artistic and literary Bloomsbury group. She married Leonard Woolf in 1912, and in 1970, that is she and her husband, they founded the Hogarth Press, which published most of her works. In 1940, they shifted to Sussex. Now, Virginia suffered from mental illness all throughout her life, as we see, as she had already suffered mental breakdown earlier, twice. She was institutionalized several times, and she even attempted suicide twice. Maybe she must have been suffering from bipolar disorder, for which there was no effective intervention during her lifetime. And finally, in 1941, at the age of 59, she died by drowning herself in the river Ouse at Louis. Now, as far as Virginia Woolf's literary career is concerned, we find that during the interwar period, she was an important part of London's literary and artistic society. In 1915, she published her first novel, The Voyage Out, though her half-brother's publishing house, Gerald Duckworth, and Company. Besides Mrs. Dalloway and To the Lighthouse. Her other known works are Orlando, published in 1928, her essays, including A Room of One's Own in 1929, in which she wrote the much quoted dictum, "A woman must have money and a room of her own if she is to write fiction." Unquote. Virginia Woolf gained more popularity in 1970s movement of feminist criticism as her works inspired feminism. Her works have been translated into more than 50 languages. A large body of literature is dedicated to her life and work, and she has been the subject of plays, novels, and films. She is commemorated today by statues, societies dedicated to her work, and a building at the University of London. Now, as far as her style is concerned, she wrote in the style of indirect monologue, which means that she never let the characters' thoughts flow without specific organization and control, or the stream of consciousness technique which she applied in her novel Mrs. Dalloway. That's all for now. I'll be coming up with more lectures of mine. Till then, goodbye and thank you.